here are my reaction pathways. Now I'm gonna make a story to link them all together in attempts to remember all of it. Okay, so main characters of the storyline is Sugar Zaddy. Sugar Zaddy is primary alcohol, okay? Now, primary alcohol has two personalities. Sugar Zaddy is primary, and, like, the husband, the proper one, is secondary alcohol. Now, that's main character number 1. Main character number 2, everyone hates this character. It's Alkeen. Literally, everyone's trying to leave Alkeen. Do you see? Like, ugh. Alkeen sucks. So, yeah. Alkeen is, like, this lukewarm, boring-ass bitch that's, like, wow. And then everyone needs, like, heat to get away from Alkeen. Anyways, let me start here. So, alcohol, like, okay. Sugar daddy, when they're not sugar daddy, secondary alcohol. A secondary alcohol is, like, married to ketone, okay? Now, ketone's, like, wifey vibes. So is carboxylic acid. No, so is aldehyde, right? Yeah, so is aldehyde. And carboxylic. No, so is carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid and ketone are wifey vibes. And to get to a wifey, you need to cross the white picket fence. And you know which sorry, this is a stretch, but you know what molecule looks like a white picket fence? K2CR2O7. It's so complicated, you see. With a proton, so, like, you need a flower. You need a hat. And then heat under reflux, because to get to the wife, you need to reflect on your actions, especially with such a stupid guy like alcohol, okay? And then ketone to connect with her husband. She needs some alcohol. So she has some methanol and also NABH4. That's Loki looks like, nah, bruh. She used to be, takes a shot, nah, bruh, leaves. You know? And see, ketone, okay, let's say we're, like, in a misogynistic society, okay? This is the misogynistic society. Ketone gains from this relationship because ketone, the wife, has a husband that she can gain from. Ugh, I hate saying that. But anyways, alcohol, the man, actually loses. So it's oxidation because oil rig, oxidation loses and reduction gains. I don't actually believe this guy. Okay, now let's talk about the side chicks. The side chick number 1, Esther. Esther's, like, kind of like the favorite side chick. It's like the indie girl side chick. This is, like, the mainstream side. This is, like, wow, escapism vibes, okay? Because it's going this way. But to get alcohol's a simp. Alcohol needs hella acid to get to Esther. So they need not only concentrated diprotic acid, but they also need carboxylic acid. And also heat, because it's so fiery. Yeah? And Esther just needs to show that she's hydrated and ready for alcohol. Ready for Sugar Zaddy. Okay? Now, this is, like, a complicated system. So, Sugar Zaddy loves aldehyde and carboxylic acid. But carboxylic acid but these two both simp for alcohol, like, directly. And technically, like, they have their ways, but Sugar Zaddy, to get to aldehyde, it's also through white picket fence. And aldehyde to carboxylic acid, basically this is like an open relationship, yeah? So they can all get to each other, but just in different ways. So white picket fence, 1, 2, 3. They all need white picket fence, except for when carboxylic acid goes to alcohol. They can go under the tunnel. This is like a bunker that they have. Let's say they're neighbors, okay? Like, they live in a house. She lives in, like a New York apartment somewhere. This is, like, the direct neighbor, so all they gotta do is cross the fence. But this is, like, the third neighbor, so they have to go through the bunker and, like, the underground tunnel to get to each other, okay? Now, carboxylic acid gains from this because he's like, wow, I want to get to Sugar Zaddy. And then not only do you have to go under with lithium aluminium H4. What's that? LiAlH4. What the fuck? This low-key looks like lying. Okay, so carbox is like a naughty. So like carbox needs to like lie to get under in the dry ether. And let's say like underground is really dry, right? So dry. And then not only do you need to be hydrated, but you also need a flower. Yeah. And then carboxylic acid, that's all they can do, to be honest. Because carboxylic acid is kind of in a toxic relationship. But yeah, ester also kind of likes carboxylic acid, but it's not like they're related, you see? Okay, now aldehyde is kind of with them both. Aldehyde's kind of a flit, okay? So aldehyde lives in like a white picket fenced neighborhood, yeah? So, and aldehyde's also married, so to get to alcohol, she also needs Nabra and then a shot, yeah? And this is also called reduction. And then alcohol always oxidizes, bro. Like, always. Except for ester, because ester's like indie vibes, so to ester, he condenses. But for everything else, he oxidizes, so he loses. You know? And he's like a loser, so he loses. So that means he's like low-key meant to be with ester, yeah? Anyways, so to oxidize, you need to get over the white picket fence with a flower. And to aldehyde, you need distill. But for everything else, you just need reflux. But aldehyde's like, no, I need distilled water. Aldehyde's kind of a bitch. Like, aldehyde's like a pretentious little whatever. Like, she needs distilled water, not just distill. And then everyone else, like, you need to reflect. Aldehyde's basically stuck up, entitled. Okay? Now, that's kind of the storyline for alcohol, sugar zaddy right here. And there's also another like storyline going on, but this is so unrelated. I'm like, whatever. It's like Australia, and this is like, you see, like down under. We live in the world down under. Okay, next main character is alkene. Now alkene, everyone hates alkene because alkene's like so lukewarm to the point where to get anywhere else you need heat. So to get to sugar zaddy, you need heat to like spice your life up. Okay. And also you need like mechanism. Okay, so alkene, to get to dihalogen alkene, not only do you need 2 X's, you need to apologize to 2 X's through a mechanism. You need hexane. So that's like 3 X's. Such a flit. My gosh, right? And then that's electrophilic addition. So EA. It's like yeah. Yeah. Do you hear that? So yeah. And also, okay, so alkenes apologize to them with 3 X's, and yeah, with a mechanism. With car. Yeah, technically alkene needs a car for a lot of these things. Okay. To get to alkane needs a special package of some sort as well. So alkene needs not only 2 hats, because alkane's super hot, okay? All these are actually really hot. They all need UV of some sort, because they're so hot. They're in the sun. So alkene to alkane, you need 2 hats, a nickel to get on the train, and extra heat. Imagine how hot, okay? And yeah, so slay. And then this whole bunch is EA. Alkene needs to EA everything. EA. Early action. Alkene needs to early action to all these collisions. So yeah. And then to get to, yeah. And to get to halogen alkane, not only do you need 1 hat, but you also need an X. So you need both. And heat, obviously. So yeah. And then to get to sugar zaddy, I already said that. But alkene needs to EA everything. But with a car, to halogen alkane and alkane. So the canes, you need a car. And then up here, I'm just going to categorize these as like one genre. The alkane, the dihalogen alkane, and the polysubstituted whatever. They're free spirits, okay? Now, to get to them, you need free radical substitutions because it's free, okay? So, yeah. And free spirits have hell X's, but they only talk to two. There's like two main X's and heat, obviously. They're like living in the sun. They're like on the beach all the time. Free spirit, okay? And then free spirit, to get to halogen alkane, you need also two X's and sun. Basically everything here needs sun. Halogen alkane's kind of like a hippie-ish, like this is like hippie territory, and this is like married territory, you know? Halogen alkane's like a hippie as well, kind of. Alkanes also need cars. Canes need cars because they can't walk. Canes need cars. But halogen alkane is like, ooh, I'm special. I need nucleophilic substitution, which is where SN1, SN2 come in handy. So yeah. Halogen alkane is like, I'm like a Buddhist monk almost. Like, yes, you need a car to get to me, but I don't need hotness. I need warmth. And I need dilute NaOH. Yeah, simple as that, to be honest. Not simple at all, bro. Oh, I didn't talk about Australia yet. So Australia, down here, I'm going to talk in an accent. Benzene, nitrobenzene, and phenylamine are in a kind of complicated relationship that relates all three of them. So basically, benzene. Ben really wants to make amine, like phenylamine, but they can't without nitrobenzene. And nitrobenzene's kind of just like a third wheel, okay? And then benzene, to like reason with nitrobenzene, they need a lot of things. So not only is there electrophilic substitution, ES, you not only need concentrated HNO3, but you also need concentrated H2SO4, two types of acid. Okay? Is HNO3 a strong? Whatever. And also, benzene needs to reflect, because Ben is like a misogynistic bitch name. Okay, so it needs to reflect. Okay, and nitrobenzene's like, all right, like I'll pass on the word, and benzene's like, oh, thank you. But nitrobenzene, like, phrases it differently. Nitrobenzene hops on a car and reaches phenylamine. And, benzene gains from this communication skills, yeah? So, not only do you need SN, but you also need concentrated hydrochloric acid, heat, and NaOH. And, like, a care package. Oh, my foot, sorry. And, like, a care package to communicate. Dude, where's hydrolysis? Oh, it's not hydration, it's hydrolysis. And that's my theory. Goodbye.